What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and today we have got 10 cars plus one honorable mention, so technically 11, that you will not believe are under 3K. We started the series out with 10K, so like we did 10 cars that you won't believe are under 10K, and now we did 10 cars under 5K, and now we're doing 10 cars under 3K. Real quick, guys, before we get into the video, I want to remind you that over 80% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. Make it a New Year's resolution to subscribe to your boy, and I'd really appreciate it. But that's pretty, you don't have to if you don't want to, I understand if you just want to watch, you don't want another subscription thing being in your feed, I get it. But if you want to, help a boy out, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so coming in at the number 10 spot is going to the wonderful Mazda RX-8. I always kind of thought that these were like a JDM legend type of deal, and so I never thought they would be under freaking $3,000, but it's under $3,000, and it absolutely blows me away. It might be because it's like not that reliable due to its engine, which by the way is a 1.3 liter 2-rotor rotary engine that makes 212 horsepower, and the car is rear-wheel drive. But so it could be that. It could be that could be the reason why they're under 3K and nobody wants them, because they're just a nightmare to own. But who cares? They look freaking sick. Now, I will say they're not the best resale value out there. You're not gonna make a lot of money on your Mazda RX-8. Not a lot of people are looking to buy them. But they're rear-wheel drive. They look cool. They're a rotary, so they're gonna sound great, and they have tons of aftermarket support. You can have an absolute blast in an RX-8 if you know what you're doing. Coming in at the number 9 spot is going to the wonderful Infiniti G35 Sedan. Now, I do want to say you can find a coupe for under $3,000, but most likely that coupe is going to be the actual worst car on planet Earth. Like, you will be in the most unreliable car on the road. But it comes with a 3.5 liter V6 making 287 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. They have a VQ in them. That's the same motor that came in the 350Z. And they're still under $3,000, and they're a rear-wheel drive car, and they have 4 seats, and they have 4 doors. That's what kind of blows me away about it. Yes, I get that they're very ugly. I will be the first to admit it. They're very ugly, and most of the cars under 3K are going to be ones that have already been beaten up a little bit, probably a little takeover car that's been slammed into a Camaro 500 times. But who cares, man? You got a rear-wheel drive, VQ-powered sedan. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's like the best daily, unless you get the all-wheel drive one and you find a good deal on it, but it is going to be a blast. Coming in at the number 8 spot, however, is going to another sedan that this one is just mind-blowing. It's the freaking BMW 328i E90. This is a very new car, and it's a German, like, quote-unquote luxury car that doesn't look bad at all, and it's under 3K. That is just that bonkers. It's bonkers. It comes with a 3 liter inline 6 making 240 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, just like the sedan. And my friend Ben actually just bought a E90 328i for $2,500. It has 100,000 miles, and it's a manual rear-wheel drive with 0 issues except for it needed new struts in the back. That's it. That is an incredible deal. If you can't see how that's an incredible deal, you are blind. That is such a good car. Buy one now, because the E90 prices, I guarantee, are going to start to go up in the future. But oh my god, just such a, oh my god. Coming in at the 7th position for this wonderful video is the Toyota Celica GT 7th gen. I didn't plan that, but that works out perfectly. These are just like a very sporty looking car that you would think people would overprice because they think that they have something special. And so I never really expected it to be under 3K. But they're under 3K quite frequently. They come with a 1.8 liter inline 4 making 180 horsepower, and it was front wheel drive. In my opinion, it actually does look very good, but everything else is questionable, to say the least. It really doesn't have that much aftermarket support. It doesn't have a good motor at all, whether it's reliability or tunability. It's made by Yamaha actually, and it's just not that reliable. It doesn't have that much potential for power. But you'll at least look like a baller. When the thing runs, you're going to look like a baller, and you can buy it for under 3K. They also handle really well. They're very sharp. Coming in at number 6 is going to another luxury sedan that you would probably think is like $10,000 for the minimum. The Audi A4 B7. It literally looks so like new and classy, but it's already under 3K. Like, this car looks like it came out in like 2012, and it's under $3,000. It blows me away. They come with a 2 liter turbocharged inline 4 that makes 210 horsepower, and it was all-wheel drive, obviously, but it's not just normal all-wheel drive, my friend. That is quattro all-wheel drive, so you can get out of any situation that you're stuck in. It's definitely not the most reliable one on this list though, because the 2.0T likes to go kablooey a lot. But all the car really needs to look literally just absolutely incredible and just be an absolute fun car is the most simple mods. Audis, they always do that. They have very well aging cars. Their cars look still new to this day, and literally just like lower it, put some nice wheels on it, and you're done. Number 5 is going to every single TikTok kid's dream car, the Mazda Miata NA. I have 2 friends that own an NA Miata, and they both bought theirs for under 3K. And it just blows me away because they're such good cars still to this day. And people all the time online are always like, no, you're not buying a Miata for less than 5K. You're wrong, man. You can still buy them under 3K quite frequently. They come with a 1.8 liter inline 4, making 135 horsepower, and they were rear-wheel drive. I will say that they're still overpriced for sure, but they're not as bad as people are saying online. Like I have seen some on Marketplace go for like 7K, and at that point, yeah, that's just not worth your money at all. But there are still tons of Miatas that are actually worth your money for under 3K. And when you buy it, it's just such a fun little pocket rocket, and they're reliable as hell too. So you can just beat on it as much as you want. It's a perfect Sunday cruiser, and it's never gonna let you down. Coming in at the number 4 spot is a car that we talk about a lot on this channel actually, and people still to this day will comment in my comment section to be like, you're wrong, it's not under this much, it's not under that much. They seem to think this car is like $10,000 all day. It's the Lexus IS300. It's another car that gets a ton of love, but still isn't like ridiculously priced yet. It's probably like one of the last JDM cars that aren't like $15,000 for a good example. It comes with a 3-liter inline 6 making 225 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive, and that motor is actually the 2JZ-GE, so it's not the turbocharged one that you found in the Mark IV Supras, but it's still a really good motor, and they're reliable as hell. Now, the one that you will find for under 3K is going to be an automatic, and it's going to have probably over 200,000 miles, but keep in mind, it's a Toyota. They don't blow up, okay? It's a 2JZ. You're going to be all right. 200,000 miles is nothing for that car. It's reliable as hell. And also, it can just be loads of fun for cheap. It's freaking rear-wheel drive. There's no manuals under 5K for sure, but you can manual swap it, and it has tons of aftermarket support. Coming in at 3rd place is going to a car that honestly just blows me away that is not 15K. It is the Mitsubishi 3000 GT. This freaking absolute shredder of a monster is a car that looks like a JDM car that like 12-year-olds would have boosted to like $100,000 by now, but somehow it's still under 3K, and it's amazing. They come with a 3-liter V6 making 170 horsepower, and they are front-wheel drive, which is kind of an issue. It's not the fastest car on this list for sure. If you want a fast 3000 GT, you're buying a VR4, but the VR4 is very high, but that makes sense. It really isn't that reliable. It's not that fast. It really just kind of looks good. Like if you want a car that looks like a sports car and it's gonna get your head, like people's heads turning, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT is an absolutely amazing choice. It does look incredible. Like I said, I looking at the car, you would think it's like a $10,000 car. But coming in at the 2nd place is yet again another car that we talk about quite a lot on this channel. A lot of people talk about this car though. I'm not going to act like I'm the only one that talks about it. The BMW 328i E36. These cars are so hyped up, almost as much as like an S13, but they're significantly cheaper than an S13, and they're still, honestly, I would argue that an E36 is a better chassis than an S13. They come with a 2.8 liter inline 6 making 190 horsepower, and they are rear-wheel drive. There's tons of E36s out there, so parts are literally everywhere. So before you comment down below, well, E36s break a lot. Yeah, but E36 parts are cheap as hell, and they're actually not as unreliable as you think. It's just the fact that you are modifying yours and you're buying one with like 250,000 miles that the guy was drifting before. Obviously, yeah, it's going to be a little bit unreliable at that point, but if you take good care of it, it'll be all right. They look okay, but only when modified. When they're stock, they kind of look like a grandma car, but there's just such a fun platform to like learn everything that you need to know about cars on, but not for like $15,000. All right, honorable mention time, my good friend, and it goes to another German monster, the Volkswagen GTI Mark V. This is still a kind of new and reliable car, but due to Volkswagen depreciation, it's cheap as hell. They come with a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4 making 200 horsepower, and they obviously are front-wheel drive. And honestly, a lot of people don't think they look good, but to me, I think they look great. And if you don't think they look good, well, they have tons of aftermarket support, and it's incredibly easy to make it look good, and you can make it very fast too. It's a freaking Volkswagen motor. They love power. But coming in at the 1st place for today is, of course, the Acura TL 3rd generation. honestly, this one just makes no sense how they're so cheap. It really does not make a lick of sense to me. Like, I try to make sense of it, can't do it, just can't do it. They come with a 3.2 liter V6 that makes 258 horsepower, and they are front wheel drive. Let's go over the freaking TL real quick. Let's go over what makes it so great. It's reliable as hell, looks incredible. Stock, I will argue that it doesn't look that good, but it's so easy to make it look incredible. Tons of aftermarket support because it's a freaking Honda, and like everything fits on the same cars. They're quick while stock, but they don't have like the typical Honda power potential. So you're not going to be able to like boost this thing up to like 600 horsepower on like stock internals, but it's already kind of quick while stock. They're new, very luxurious for their price. They do look like a grandma car a little bit, but they're, like I said, they're so easy to make look baller, just like the Audi A4. They're just all around an amazing car, whether it's you want to be a daily driver, you want to get a fun little street car. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to be honest, it's not like the best choice if you're looking for like a race car, but for anything else, it's absolutely amazing, and it's under 3K. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video of 11 sports cars that you did not know are under $3,000. Let me know what other cars I missed. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see in the comments down below. Also, in the top of the comment section is going to be a pinned comment with the channel link to my new channel that I just made, all about GTA Online content. So if you enjoy GTA Online, go check that out. If you don't enjoy it, do not check it out. I don't want like fake subscribers over there, if that makes any sense. So I don't want like you to go over there and subscribe just because you want to subscribe. I'd rather have people that actually want to enjoy the content subscribe to the channel. So if you don't enjoy GTA, you don't gotta go look at it. Just, you know, stay here and support Mark Roden. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania. Have a nice night.